All right, everybody. Scott Pierce here at Listings to Leads, and welcome to the call. Excited, absolutely excited to be doing this with everybody today because we did a massive update to our school community for expireds. And I want to walk through that with you because I think it is the simplest and easiest way to really get your head wrapped around what we are doing here. I got a lot of great resources there. And so I'm going to walk through that today. I did put a link to it in the chat right here. So if you are not a member of that yet, please go ahead and click that link so that I can get you in there. I'm going to, as we just kind of walk through a little bit here on the intro, I'm going to pay attention to that. So again, if you are not a member of our school community, you're going to want to make sure you do that. And then let me also go ahead and drop in the link to Listings to Leads. You're going to want to make sure you get there too. So, boom. If you're not a client, you can sign up for a free trial. And if you are a client, you can log in, actually do some of this stuff with me. We're not going to be in the account a ton, although we are going to be in there actually creating some of these expired relaunch plans. All right. So we're going to actually get in there and do that. But what I really want to do in this call is show you the school platform and make sure you're absolutely dialed in. So when you log in now to Listings to Leads, you're going to see right on the pop-up right here, get your next listing in a few weeks. Now, you brokers, team leaders, when you log in, you're going to see something similar. All your agents will. And for any lenders watching this, you also are going to see something similar. And it just says, join our expired school community. Click here to join. And I got to get a better image, but regardless, if you're not a member yet, you'll want to, I'm not sure what it looks like from your perspective, but I think you're just going to say, join, and then I accept you. And then when you're in there, right, click classroom. And there's the success framework, which I'm pretty far along with, but I'm still building that out a little bit. We've got pending and sold listing classroom. We've got open house classroom, and we got expired. And so here we've completely have just redone this. All right. So real quickly, go ahead and let me know that you were here. Buddy, if you're here, let me know you're here. Anybody else, go ahead and just type in where you're coming in from, who you are, and what you're looking for in life as it relates to Listings to Leads. Cynthia just got you in there. Awesome. Good. So again, go ahead and let me know that you're here. Go ahead and type in something. Let's get our creative juices, our listening, right? Let's get all of that activated. And let's make sure we're going to have an awesome one. Sean, awesome. Sean, where are you coming in from? I feel like I'm always where's that at? Hobie? Is it Hobie? Is that Florida? It's got to be Florida or Massachusetts. I've heard of it. I know of it. But I'm going to guess Florida. If I had to guess all my money, I'm going to say that's in Florida. Arthur, awesome. Florida. What part of Florida? I know Florida pretty well. That's why I kind of thought it was. Actually, I lived in Sarasota for a few years. All right, so let's go. Let's start. Just all we're going to do is we're going to work through this, and we're going to, oh yeah, I love Fort Myers, of course. We're going to walk through this with the emphasis on so we got 3 categories of expired leads: luxury, pretty self-evident; premier, all right, and I'll explain that in a second; and then standard. So with luxury, these are, obviously luxury. These are, whatever that means in your area, but like the top 5%. And for the luxury expireds, we can build out custom marketing plans. And I know there's a cover on that, so it's kind of shiny, but here we go. Fold it over again. So we can build these expired relaunch plans where it features their home, their name, their address on the cover, their home all the way throughout it. And we can mail these, we can door knock with these, and there's a few other items that are a part of that, but this is the main part of it. Then we got premier leads. All right, so the premier leads are one step below luxury. And for the premier leads, we are going to use something like this, like what John Summers is actually killing it with. And this is just kind of a standard presentation. All right. It's still interactive. It still has scannable QR codes, has clickable links. It's got the text codes, all your branding. So it's magazine quality. It looks absolutely fantastic, but it's not of their home in particular. It's just of like a general representative home of the area where you live. So, Elizabeth, the home that would be in your premiere booklet would be different than what it would be for somebody else, like in Philadelphia or California or Las Vegas. So even though they're going to be used for it's the same presentation, both the online version, the flip book, and the printed version that you can door knock or mail with. It's the same for all of your leads, right? All of your expired leads. It's unique to you. So hopefully that makes sense, because we want to make sure that it's local, right? So that people in your area aren't looking at it going like, that looks like a house somewhere else. All right. So again, luxury, premier, and then standard. We have a done for you service, which I'm telling you, the first group, we're actually just finishing up the first group that came through. And what's really interesting in that is half of them are super techie and good agents. I was actually kind of surprised. I thought it might be more of this of a non-techie people that would take advantage of this first, at least. But no, a couple of the people in the first group are super, super high tech. I mean, they know how to build out funnels and everything. And I think they just realized, like, listen, if you guys can just do it for us. And so we built out a 3-month email, text campaigns, call notifications, letter notifications, because their CRM, some CRMs may be able to do this, but others don't. But we built the letters out, and so they're just sitting there ready for them. So for for 3 months, and then it's going to just kind of go recurring after that. Everything is built out, which is absolutely awesome. I'm so excited. I can't wait to launch it for them. But here, done for you, expired pipeline builder. If I click there, it'll take me to a presentation. I'm not going to really go through this because you can take a look at it later and just kind of see if this might be something interesting. My only goal with this is not to make money. It is to get you up and running. All right. Because I know you might be on these calls for 2 months before you have the confidence and the skills to do something. Sometimes everyone's going to be different. Some people get in here and they are off and running on the first day and they never look back. And I love it. That is absolutely perfect. And some of you are going to sit here and just kind of go, let me just kind of do it again, look at it again. And hey, whatever works for you. I just want to make sure that you've got the facility, you got the options to either just do it yourself or hire us. We got 2 options when you hire us. One is we just build it and we do a walkthrough onboarding call, just kind of show you everything. And so make sure you're good to go. And then there's another level above that where you actually sit with me or somebody on my team for 4 weeks, for the first 4 weeks. And we just go through actually doing some of the stuff, answering questions, looking at your numbers, dialing you in and making sure that you're optimized and off and running. So do it yourself, have us build it for you, or have us build it for you and coach you for the first 4 weeks. And we build it for you in your CRM. So whatever CRM you're using, if you're using Lofty, we'll do it in Lofty. You do it Follow Up Boss, we'll do it in Follow Up Boss. So with that, live and recorded calls. So obviously this is a live call, and I've got a couple you don't need every single call we've ever done. So I've taken a couple of highlighted calls, one for standard, one for luxury, a blog post on how Rosanna got a $2.5 million luxury listing to her pipeline on day one, right? That's now, when I say day one, she was with us for about a month before she did anything, right? She's one of those people, and it's totally fine. There's absolutely no judgment at all, because we're all different how we do things. I'm the kind of person also, I kind of like to sit there and overanalyze and get super, super comfortable before I do anything. And then I do things. So I'm kind of like how Rosanna is. But on the first day that she took action, put a $2.5 million luxury listing in her pipeline, uh, door knocked it, met with a homeowner, had a great conversation, got invited in, did a tour of the property, walked through the presentation with the homeowner, and the homeowner was like, wow, this is awesome. I think she was, after the sale didn't go through with the previous agent, she's going to take, maybe like a month or so to kind of just decompress. And then she plans to relist, and she plans to relist with Rosanna. So there you go. We do have some videos. There's currently 3 videos, probably be adding more soon. JJ Newman, how she got 4 listings in 6 weeks. All right. And she did that mostly via text and phone calls. And those texts and phone calls are below right here in the school. So, but still watch the video. She walks through what she said, how she does it, kind of some of the behind the scenes kind of a thing. Phenomenal interview. And it was only 10 minutes and 42 seconds. If I don't have to keep you for an hour, I'm not going to keep you for an hour. So when I'm not throwing out 1 hour interviews, I want them just to be on point and targeted for you. All right. The second right here, John Summers, and I'm interviewing him again next week. I can't wait. On his first day that he took action, he actually put a $925,000 listing into his pipeline and actually listed it about 3 to 4 weeks later, and actually got it sold, I believe, I think it went under contract in under 2 weeks. And he's just been on fire ever since. This guy right here, whew, he is just impressive. And he put $2 million under contract in January, had a great February. I know he's doing, I think he said he got 2 listings this week, right? Using our expireds, using our 100 plus point home marketing plan. So, the stuff that we're talking about here, with the expireds, it has absolute, my gosh, I hate when I blank. It's got absolute application for seller leads, for FSBOs, you can do it for probate. All right. You can do it for canceled. So any homeowner, because here's the deal. What does every single homeowner that is thinking about selling want to know? Every single homeowner, I don't care who they are, they want to know 3 things. Every one of them. What are you going to do to sell my home? All right. What are you going to do to sell my home? Now, most of the time, the agent just does this kind of like random, oh, we do social media and we got 5,000 agents and 400 offices around the world. And, we're so great, type of thing. All right. So that's 1. 2, how are you different from every other agent that's telling me they're the best? All right. I got 5 top producers. I got 3 neighborhood agents that sell everything in the neighborhood. What are you going to do that's better than what they're going to do? All right. So how are you different? Even if you're a top producer, how are you different than the other top producer? All right. That's 2. 3 is, why am I paying you 2.5%, or maybe 3.5 if you know how to do it? So why am I paying you all this money? That's where this comes in. There's nothing in the industry that is as good as this right here, because not only whether you create it for their home specifically, like for the luxury, or you use the one for the premier or standard, where it's the same booklet for the premier and the standard. But as they go through this, they can see exactly everything that you're doing. And so we're going to create one of these in this call today, but they can scan the QR codes in here and see what it looks like on their phone. They got the URL that they can go to. They can send a text code. They can download PDF guides. They can scan or link to your client review website. I mean, there is absolutely nothing else in the industry that is this powerful. And if you're like, for example, John Summers here, and I know a lot of you, his brokerage has an account with us. All right, so his brokerage has an account, and they are also part of the leading real estate companies of the world. So they've got some other marketing assets like they're in Barron's, they're in a few other things. So he will include that as a supplement to this right here. So this doesn't have to be the entire thing, but it's the workhorse. And then if you're with KW Luxury, EXP Luxury, Sotheby's, right? Or you're just an agent and, Elizabeth, I'm just going to pick on you. Could be anybody. Maybe Elizabeth, you do property videos, you do 3D tours, you do professional photos. You could create some one pagers, right? A one pager on how you do professional photos, a one pager on how you do 3D tours, a one pager on how you do property videos. All right. And you can do that in Canva super easily and just add it to this when you do a mailing or a door knocking. All right. And have that as like a supplement with this. I mean, unbelievable. So anyways, because John actually did that. Like I mentioned, he's with the leading real estate companies of the world. And he had like an 8-pager that goes with this 27-pager. So it's awesome. Scott Murray, another video right here, 5-6 minutes long. And whereas JJ was calling and texting, John was calling and pop by, trying to do pop buys. Scott Murray, he just did cold door knocking. So when I say cold, I mean he would door knock 3 to 4 expired homes a day for 3 days. Just for the first 3 days in particular. And he ended up putting $2.7 million into his pipeline. This is a guy who put $32 million in the contract last year. So he knows what he's doing. So, he's a top agent, top producer for a number of years. And he was just blown away. And he was door knocking with the premier presentation, not even the luxury one. He was just, he ordered these from us and he went door knocking. And in this video, he talks through exactly what he said. He talks through kind of watch the video because it's a great video, but he kind of walks through the psychology of how he talked and, kind of setting it up and everything. He also talks about the fact that he got really bummed when he was talking to or knocking on a couple of doors and he got buyers and he had buyers that were there. And it's funny because he goes, man, the first time I ran into a buyer, I was kind of bummed out. But then as I was walking away from the door, I realized, my gosh, this is an opportunity. And so the next time that happened, he knew what to say and he picked up 2 good buyers in addition to some good sellers. So watch that video. It's absolutely fantastic. This guy is on fire as well. All right. And I'm just working my way down here. And that's what you should do on your own time later so that you can really soak this in. All right. This is a masterclass of expireds. So, it's free to you. It's absolutely free, but don't take that as it's not worth it. I could probably charge this. I mean, when we get back, I got to show you guys something. Maybe on the 7:00 call tonight, I'm actually working on an entire dashboard for expired. Oh my God, it is absolutely nuts. And I'm going to try to have that ready to show you guys tonight. So if you join us tonight, you're going to be like, you're going to have your socks knocked off. All right. So if you want to order the presentation booklets, this is just exactly what I was showing you just now. So it's just that magazine quality. I mean, it's like that beautiful paper. It sits open beautifully. I've had this one for 4 or 5 months, since probably October, November. I pick it up, I knock it around. Yeah, I know I'm doing this kind of stuff with it where it's just like, whatever. Still looks fantastic. Now you're going to want to be able to print these yourself and bind them yourself, because when you go for a luxury or a listing presentation, you're not going to be ordering because it's a one-off. But when you need, I just interviewed Leo yesterday, Leo N. He's a client. If you're in our mastermind group, you've seen his stuff. He knocks out 40 of these a month for, check this out, 40 expired and 40 for the sellers. So you can order these from us as FSBO, expired, canceled, and standard seller leads. In my mind, canceled, you don't need canceled. Canceled and expired are the same thing. I would just, what I would do is consider at least ordering the expired. And the ones for the seller are great as well. The only difference between expired and seller leads are expireds are much, much, much more targeted, right? But you know, eventually they're all going to sell, right? It's just a matter of when. So the expired leads are going to sell most likely a lot sooner, and it's going to be a lot larger percentage of them, which is why we target them the way we do. But then having these booklets for the seller leads is powerful as well. All right, there's nothing like being able to show a seller lead. In fact, I got one like this one right here, right, to have this available for just a standard seller lead. Because again, nobody wants to hear about what you're going to do. They want to see, they want to interact with what you're going to do. And these are all just amazing for that. So anyways, you can click here. If you do order from us, you're going to order the setup. And then you're going to, what we do is we set it up in your account. We, get everything ready. We just set up everything for you. We send you, we'll email you back and forth, right? Make sure you're good to go. You're going to let us know you're good to go. And then you can order copies 10, 20, 30, or even 40 at a time. Now, here's the thing. I'm not here to sell you. I'm not here to upsell you at all, because you can do all this yourself. And I encourage you to do it if that's what you want to do. But at the same time, I know where people get stuck. And so I want to make sure that you've got the options to get unstuck when you can. That's it. So please don't take it like, oh my God, he's upselling us and he's trying to do this. That's not the goal. The goal is to get you going as fast as possible, because you will make a lot more money actually taking action versus not taking action. Make sense? So please don't take it like, oh my God, he's trying to upsell, he's trying to do this. He's, not for that reason that, not for that jaded kind of like reason that most people think or consider. It is purely because I've been doing this long enough. I see the spots where people get stuck, and I just have got to make sure, listen, I need to make sure I help you out to get unstuck. Elizabeth got stuck. And that's one of the things that we do for this right here. When we do this for you, we actually add your introduction, and everyone I do it for loves it. But Elizabeth, I'll show you that here in a few seconds. That's coming up. All right, so we're going to focus on premier leads. All right, so a premier expired lead in particular, below luxury. All right, so it's not the top end, but it's above. It's not just the average either. All right, so premier is going to be between luxury and standard, whatever that means for you. So my area, premier might be like 1.2 to 700,000. So anything above 1.2 million, that would be luxury. Anything between 1.2 and 7 would be premier. And then 7 on down, like 7 to 5 would be standard. And then below standard, I'm not dealing with. Everyone's going to be a little bit different. And I know some people, they treat everybody. They don't create these booklets for them until they actually have a listing presentation. Somebody like JJ, she's in a really small market where she got 4 listings in 6 weeks. She treated everybody as luxury. All right. So, but for premier, we're going to create, and we're going to do this today as well. I'm going to show you how to do this. We're going to create this booklet, and it's the same booklet for everybody. So every premier lead, every standard lead will get this sent to them via text message, via email. And then if we're going to mail the package or door knock, they're going to get the print version of this. And introduction and bio. So Elizabeth, pay attention. This is super, super easy. All right. There's 3 things on here. 1, the link to where you put it. 2, a prompt that you can use. And if you want to drop in your in fact, hold on one second. Let me see if I can do something. Elizabeth, are you MVP? Give me a second. I'm assuming you're with MVP, but maybe you're not. You tell me. Yes, you are. I can see you right here. So Elizabeth, is that you? And so check this out. Here's what I do. You want to see how easy this is? Now let me bring up ChatGPT and I'll bring it over. All right. And Elizabeth, I will send this to you a little bit later if you want. So click here. Sorry. So click here where it says, and then it'll pop you right into your account and click introduction. All right. And so for a lot of you, that's going to be kind of off. So turn it on. Grab your bio, and that's why I just went to Zillow. All of you pretty much have a bio on Zillow. It may be on your website, it may be whatever. Just grab your bio, and in ChatGPT, you can paste it in, and then come back here and grab the prompt, right? Prompt below. Now, I've got this built into mine where I just literally drop in the bio without even saying a thing, and it just does it because it knows what I'm doing. But I'm going to do this as if we are brand new together. And boom, let's see what it does. And Elizabeth, I don't want to put this in the chat. So if you want to ping me later, scott@listingstoleads.com, feel free. And it should be, I'm not going to take mine out because then I got to redo mine all over again. But that should be the perfect length. And what's awesome is, check this out. It mentions a 100-point marketing plan. It takes into consideration what you've already had, and then it just kind of updates it just a little bit to be a little bit more polished. And boom, we got a beautiful bio. And you just copy and paste that in there. All right. So that's the introduction. Easy peasy. All right. So Elizabeth, feel free to ping me later, scott@listingstoleads.com. Now, every day we want to be going through and adding new expireds into our pipeline contacts. So we want to add new expireds into our contacts. They're not in our pipeline until they are in our pipeline. All right. But, we want to add new expired contacts in our CRM. So when we build this out for you, so in that done for you service, we call it expired new. So, and I'm telling you this because you can build it out yourself if you know how to do it. So we do expired new, expired contacted, expired pipeline, expired listing, expired sold. So we build out those 5 stages in the CRM. And then as the expireds are added in, they come in as new. And to do that, you're going to need a service, more than likely, of something like My Plus Leads. Or Elizabeth, when I hang up here, I'm not going to have access to that. So yeah, just ping me later, Elizabeth, and you can even ping me in the mastermind group, and I can get it to you there. So, John Summers was using his MLS and like a couple of other programs that the MLS provided him. So, you can do this in some different free ways. But if, you can also get a 30-day free trial. And if you hop to it, you'll know in 30 days that this is going to be a good thing for you. All right. If you actually hop to it, you start doing what's in here, even as DIY, doing it yourself. And then if you want to hire us later to help build it out, you can do that as well. Whatever, I don't care. Like I said, my goal is only that you get in gear, you start taking action, and you get to this, because the faster you get to it, the faster you're going to get listings. And John Summers, he put 3 listings in the contract in under a week earlier this year. So he got, I think it's 2 expireds and 1 regular, 2 in 5 days, 1 in 7 days, using our marketing platform, which is absolutely awesome. But if you're going to use My Plus Leads, when you sign up for the free trial, all right, 30 days, make sure you ask them, and you'll see right here, and that's why I dropped it in. After signing up, ask their support I am a free client. I'm a free client. I am a client of Listings to Leads. Can I get 6 months of back data added to my account during my free trial? And they'll do it. All right. It may take a day to get done. They may get it done the same day. They're usually pretty quick about it. And that way you get 6 months of FSBO data, of expired data that you can start working with. And you're going to see right here, and you'll hear these actually in the interviews between JJ, John Summers, and Scott Murray, right? Start with expireds that are 30 days old and work backwards. So start with the expired from February 25th through February 18th, right? And go and just get out, do the search of My Plus Leads, February 25th to February 18th, find all the expireds, start going through the process that we're going to come to next. All right. And then as you're going through those, take a look at some of the ones that are 6 months and older. All right. That's a whole nother different ball game, because those are people, they may have a renter in there. They may have moved out already. And so the home is just sitting there empty. But that's a whole nother kind of a segment to take a look at. When I interviewed Leo the other day, he said he also goes back, which I thought was crazy, but he's freaking, excuse me, he's an amazing agent. So it's crazy good. He goes 3 years. So he also looks at the 3 years and older expireds, which I was like, damn, they're already 3 years and older. Are they ever going to sell? But no, he's like, yes, that it works out great. And then, of course, you want to look at the new ones, but you want to realize that the new ones are, they're being inundated by everybody. So if I'm going to be going after the new ones, I'm going to recognize that two things. One, they're going to be harder to get a hold of because they've already had 10 people calling them, texting them, right? All this stuff, but they're all doing it the old fashioned way. They're all, I'm a top agent, blah, blah, blah. For the brand new ones, I would try to make sure maybe I drop them an email, or especially if they are luxury or premier, I would try to get one of these presentation booklets to them, either get the expired relaunch package in the mail to them, or door knock it. All right. And there's information on that down here as well. All right. So we got My Plus Leads, we got RedX, whatever it is that we're using. And we sit down and we're going to start going through, and we are going to start identifying new expireds. All right. So we're going through our list, and, in fact, you know what? I don't have it right now. All right. But I have screenshots, but you don't need it, because you're just going to go through whatever program and you're going to find the expired. All right. It's going to name, email, phone number, the property address. It'll tell you days on market. It'll have a link to Zillow normally. In My Plus Leads, you'll see a link to Zillow. And before I do anything, before I even add them to my account or to my CRM, I call them. All right. I'm going to call them. So we got the script right here. You can put it in your own words, but there are 3 things that you want to make sure that you get across. So the part I just highlighted is what you're going to say. So you're going to call them, you're going to make a phone call, and you're essentially going to say, hi, Elizabeth, this is Scott Pierce with XYZ Realty here in Folsom. Hey, I saw your home was on the market for 97 days and didn't sell, and I just wanted to reach out. I've got a 100 plus point expired home marketing plan to relaunch expired listings and get them sold. Can I send you a copy to review and see if you might find it interesting? All right. There are 3 things in there that you really want to make sure that you get out. And you hear this in the interview we did with JJ in particular. But I also believe John Summers and Scott Murray used parts of it as well. So first of all, that you are a local person. You're not an investor. You're not with some company out of New York, right, trying to buy their home, for pennies on the dollar. That you are a professional real estate agent in the local area. Number 2, you want to mention the days on market of their home. And you're going to want to do that because you want to establish credibility and expertise And that goes a long way because that's going to get their attention. They're going to go, oh, wow, Elizabeth knows that our home was on the market for 88 days. Okay, she's got my attention. And then thirdly, the 100-point expired home marketing plan. You want to make sure you get that out because then that's gonna really whet their appetite. They're gonna be like, wow, okay, all right. A local agent, 97-day, our house is on the market for 97 days, and she's got a 100 plus point expired home marketing plan. All right. All right, let's talk. So you're going to get a lot of people, right? Because again, here, we're not trying to get a listing agreement signed. We're not trying to get a listing appointment scheduled. All I'm trying to do is I want to get this to you, right? I want to get this to you. And if we can get it, I can get it to you via text or email. That would be absolutely perfect. All right. They're going to say one of four things when you say that to them. They're going to either say, yes, great. And here's what you're going to do. They're going to say, they're going to kind of hem and haw it. Again, here's what you're going to do. Remember, you are not trying to schedule a listing appointment. You're not trying to schedule, anything. Now, John Summers, I say this, John Summers in his video, he actually said in his voicemails or when he's talking to people that he wanted to just drop by and hand it off to them. Hey, it seems to work out for him. So whatever, right? Whatever. And that's what I mean is you're going to do it in a way that's comfortable for you. But just kind of watch what you're doing and see what works and, just fall back to what we teach if what your version of this isn't working out so well. Okay. But I always tell people, hey, you know what? We're all different people. The way the way we interact with people is different. And I know and I'm a big proponent of getting in front of people as quickly as possible. That's why I love door knocking. All right. And when you watch the Scott Murray video, when you take a look at the Rosanna Sampson blog post about the $2.5 million listing, you're going to see why I promote door knocking so much. All right. Now, back to this. The person you call, they may say they're already talking to other agents. I've already got another agent I'm going to be listing with. And if they haven't listed yet, I'm telling you, I've had now 3 people I know of have had people say that to them. And I know a couple have gotten the listing, and I know all of them got the listing appointment, even after they were told. Because what they do, they just referred back to this and they just said, you know what? That's great. That's absolutely awesome. I respect that. But, this has got some really amazing stuff in here. It's a 27-page interactive 100 plus point home marketing plan. I would just absolutely love to get it to you because I think you're going to find it at least interesting so that when you are evaluating or talking or what have you with these other agents. All right. Because again, I'm not trying to schedule a listing appointment right now. And the reason why is because I know when I get this expired relaunch package in front of them, or at least just the marketing part of it, I'm going to get most of them coming back to me. And that was what was so cool. John Summers said he made 5 phone calls on day 1 and got 2 callbacks just on day 1. All right. And lastly, they may say they're not listing at all or they're taking a break. Not a problem, right? Boom. That's what you're going to say. So that's if you get them on the phone. Now, if you're leaving a voicemail, you're just going to say something to the effect of this. It's the same 3 components that we talked about earlier, a little bit of a different order for a particular reason, which I will mention. But it's essentially, hi, Elizabeth, quick message about my 100 plus point expired home marketing plan. This is Scott Pierce with XYZ Realty here in Folsom. I saw your home was on the market for 97 days and didn't sell. I'm going to be sending you my expired relaunch plan via email in a few minutes. Would love to get your feedback if you have a chance to take a quick look at it. Something like that. The reason we change it up a little bit is because on a voicemail, they don't care who you are. They're just, in fact, if they know you're a real estate agent, they're probably going to delete you. But if I can get out the fact that I've got a 100 plus point expired home marketing plan before they delete my message, I'm going to get more time with them. All right. not more time face to face or on the phone with them, but more time for them to listen to my message. Then I introduce myself because they're going to start wondering, well, who the heck is this person? All right, this is who I am. I revert to I saw your home was on the market for 97 days and didn't sell. And then I'm sending it over. I'm not even asking. I'm just going to send it over. Boom. You can read down here why that works. All right. You can read, got a great little write up here about that. So take a look at that. Next up, we are going now. So once I call and text, I'm then going to add them to my CRM as contact new. So I'm going to get all the information from My Plus Leads or RedX or whatever system I'm using. Right. I'm going to add them, their name, their property address, the days on market. I'm going to include the link to Zillow because in My Plus Leads, there's a link to Zillow for every contact. So for every expired lead in RedX, My Plus Leads, Vulcan 7, I believe even, there's always a link to Zillow. So add that link to the contact record in your CRM. When we build it out, we actually will make sure we got the form fields for it so you don't forget. And in fact, I know with Go High Level, we're still confirming, but we're thinking that we're going to be able to import the days on market and the Zillow link automatically from My Plus Leads into Go High Level, which I think should be awesome. But if it doesn't, when we do it, we add the form fields, Zillow link, days on market, so that you always know, right? And you can do this yourself so that you always know with that contact record. Okay. So for the text message, we got four text messages here, and we've actually now got a 90-day text campaign. All right, we built it into the first group of people into their CRM, so it's going to automatically go for 90 days. It's every 2 days for the first 4 that you see here, and then it's every 4 days thereafter. Now, for the text, you need a link. So let's walk through this link. You're going to see right here, it's going to, unless it's regenerating, but that should go to my 100-point home marketing plan. Sometimes with the short URL, it takes a few seconds. I don't know why. When it's the long one, it just pops right up. But I think it's a handoff between the short and the long. But regardless, here we go. Look at that. So we want to send this to them via text, and we're also going to do it via email. So let's in listings to leads. All right, so log in. In fact, one more thing before we do that, I want to show you something. In fact, let's walk through this first. And in fact, it kind of shows me I should do this a little bit different. Okay. So under where it says door knocking, and that's why I love going through this in the live training, because I can see, you know what, I might want to put the part I'm going to walk through next a little bit above so it's more obvious. Because if I were to have you try to go find this, what I'm going to walk you through, it's going to be a little bit confusing. But right here, I'm going to give you this link. So this is the link I'm at right now. And it should say the same link, although I'm going to move it on the left-hand side list where it goes. But right here, the Premier Expired Relaunch Package. Now, this is part of that package, and I've got the most, I think, perfectly detailed with screenshots walkthrough on how to do this. So let me do that first. You will use the same general area expired listing in your listings leads account for all Premier expired listings. So let me show you what that looks like first, and then we're going to create it. And that way you'll know what the end result is going to look like. And then I'm going to show you how to build it in case you don't have it yet. But like this right here, a beautiful home, Placer in El Dorado County, status expired. And right below that, 834 Mazarine Lane, Loomis, California, also expired. So this 834, that's a luxury, right? That's specific for their home. And only that homeowner will get this one. But this one here, a beautiful home, that's the one that I send to all of my premier leads. And I can even send it to luxury leads. And I send it via text and email to my standard leads. So here's the flip book, just like we saw before. I've got the downloadable PDF right here. All right. But if you don't know how to create that, that's what I'm going to walk you through right now. So step one, create the 100 plus point expired marketing plan, the printed version. You only need to do this once. And so it says here, scroll down to steps. So let's scroll down and it's right here. So the steps on adding this to your account. Click listings, add listing and manual, right? And there's a screenshot right there. So you can see exactly what that looks like. Let's go do that right now. So if I'm back on the main listings page, so listings, add listing manual. All right. On the next screen, select expired from the dropdown. In the headline, add the text that is right there. So I'm just going to copy and paste that text. I don't want to write that out. And then in the street field, add a beautiful home. In the city field, add your overall sales area. All right, let's go do that. So status, expired. Listings, headline. I'm just going to copy and paste that in there, like right from there. Street, A-B-E-A-U-T, full home. And then under city, what did I say? My main sales area. So I could say Southwest Florida, or, Fort Myers and Cape Coral area, right? Whatever, however you want to do it. But, I want to just do it from the largest sales area that I've got. So Southwest Florida, I'll just say. That's totally fine. I don't have to do anything else. And save and add photos. All right. On the next screen, upload images. On the next screen, click upload images and upload an image of a home representative of your area. And then right down here, it's got how to use AI to turn a Google Street View image into a professional photo. Pro tip, get a photo of a home in your area, like a sold listing, or go take a photo of a home and upload it into AI and prompt it to give you a unique photo by changing the landscaping, windows, entryway, garage door. Like if it's got a single garage door, say, make it a 2-door garage. If it is a 2-door garage, make it a 1-door garage. Add or remove trees. And you want a home that is in the top like 65 to 75% range in your market, so that it is aspirational, but not out of character for most of the homes you're going to be going after. All right. So for the luxury listings, I'm going to be using their home, in the presentation. So I don't want to use for example, Elizabeth with You. For this one, I don't want to use a $4 million waterfront home. That's going to almost be out of reach and just out of their minds for most of the people getting this. Now, again, you can do whatever you want, but it is very, very easy. And if you click here, how to use AI. So if I find a listing on Google Street View, right, check that out. Boom. So absolutely amazing. All right, so let's add a photo. Upload images. And this is what I was talking about. In fact, all of these images, a lot of them are AI photos. And they're images where I took an actual image of a home, and I just said, change the landscaping, change the entryway, change the, if it had no trees, add some trees. If it had trees, change the trees. And that way, even if it's a sold listing of mine, I don't want to be using like an actual home for this, just because, for a lot of reasons. All right. On the next screen, click save and start marketing. Okay. There's nothing, you don't need to do anything here. Save and start marketing. And let's see, what does it say now? On the next screen, the printable PDF and flipbook will take about 1.5 minutes to generate and will then be ready to use. So if you come back here, you're going to see we are generating the listing presentation report. It'll be done in a few minutes. Great. And then once it's available, we'll click the flipbook to open it up. We can grab the URL. From there, we can create the short URL right at Tiny or Bitly to use via text. If we're going to print it, we can do that as well. I even got, like I said, I'm not here to sell you to buy it from us, because I even give you, here's some example for great binders. I've got this one, $48. And I've got this thermal one, which is like 60 normally, 59. Yeah, $59.99. So, and again, you're going to want to be able to do this at home, because when you got a luxury expired, when you've got a listing presentation that you're doing, you only need and want one copy. So you wouldn't order from us even if you could, because the minimum from us is 10. You don't need 10 copies of a luxury listing or a listing presentation. You only need one. So you're going to want to be able to print these at home. But for the premiere, where you're going to be, where you want to go after like 20 to 30 to 40 a month, those are great to order from us, because printing 40 of these a month becomes a little bit of a issue. All right. Let's go back here. Now that's going to take a minute. So let me just show you one that I've got from earlier. And again, we're creating we want to send a text message. And once you do this once, you only have to do it. You only do it once. All right. It's the same link to every one of them. So this is, I would consider this like part of the setup. And this is part of the setup we do for people that do it with us. All right. But it's easy enough to do it yourself. Right. Just like Elizabeth saw me do the intro. And, I'm the same way. I would rather watch someone do it with me, and then I'm good to go normally. And so if I'm just sitting here by myself, is at night, I got a million things going on. I'm trying to do this, and it should be simple, but yet my brain is just like, whatever. Same thing right here. Okay. Super simple. So just watch. Once the flipbook is ready, just copy the URL. And then either go to Tiny or Bitly, whichever. Right. And now while I'm here, I'm going to be able to create a QR code, and I'm going to be able to create that short URL for my text messages. I can do both right here. Look at that. Also create a QR code. You might as well just do that right now. So here's my link. Now I can customize that link if I want to. I think under more options, view link details, and there I can customize it if I want to. So for example, and again, I know I don't want to make this overly complicated, so you can stop right here and use that bit.ly link in the text message, and you would use it for all your text messages. So save that link, and when you set up that text message in whatever system you're going to use, it's just the same text for every single person. So again, text sequence, Premiere, right? We're talking about text number 1. It's the same link for every single text, for every single lead. It's the same one. And so in Go High Level, for example, when we set up that campaign, right? We got the whole campaign set up, and it's just the same link in every single text message that uses that link. And so if I'm back at Bitly, right, I can go to view link details. And then right here, there's a little edit, the standard pencil stuff. Edit back half. And I could do expired SW Southwest FL. Now I'm going to do 89 because nobody wants 89, but I want you to, because I don't want to take that URL from somebody. That would be a great Bitly link. So I'm going to do 89. But what I want you to notice is, watch this, save. Now I got a much cleaner, a much more engaging link to use. And that's going to go right to the flip book. Boom. Beautiful. So when I send that text message, right after, I'm going to add them to my CRM, and then I'm going to send it the text message. And if they don't respond back after the first one, no response in 2 days, I'm going to send the second one. Now, the second one is going to go to my property website. And the property website is just right next to the flip book in here. Right? Here's the flip book. Here's a downloadable PDF. And here's the property website. So that's everything I need for right now. So day one, first text message. Day 3, text message number 2. Day 5, text message number 3. Day 7, text message number 4. And again, we've now got an entire 3-month campaign. I'll see about making them available for everybody at some point soon. So we're going to wrap so I'm going to get through email, and then I'll go through the door knocking and mailing. That's super easy. Email. Okay. So for the email, just copy this and drop it into your CRM. Save it as a template. Do it in Gmail, do it in Constant Contact, Bold, Lofty, Follow Up Boss, right? Just drop that in there. And use your first name merge field. Or if you don't have that, just, when you're going to email this to somebody, and JJ, she does this all by hand. She's not using any automation. 4 listings in 6 weeks. 4 listings, 6 weeks, all by hand on her own. All right. Not overcomplicating it, because she's in a really small market. And she knows if I just do a little bit every day, that beats this like crash and burn, the issue that a lot of people have, right? They overcomplicate it, they build it up, and then they crash and burn because they're not consistent. They're not doing a little bit every single day like she is. But in the email, you're going to see that should fill in with 88 days, 97 days, whatever, right? Or you add it when you send it. This is the link to the flip book. So that's always going to be the same, right? That's just this link right here so they can see it. And then it's going to be a link to their home on Zillow. And you're going to see that right in My Plus Leads. So every contact record in My Plus Leads will have days on market, name, email, phone number of the owner, the link to Zillow. And the reason we do that, the reason we link to Zillow and the flip book is for a massive reason. I don't know, I got 2 fingers up. I should have one, but I'm sure there's more than one. It is because it's kind of like a before and after, right? Here's your home on Zillow. Now, it may have the Google Street View at this point. It may have the agent's photo still on there. It may have one of the agent's photos on there. Who knows? But they are going to click the link and see their home on Zillow. They're going to recognize the link. So it gives you, there's trust in there. And so they're going to look, they're going to be curious. They're going to, let's look at our home on Zillow. Boom. They're looking at their home on Zillow. It's not. It's like, it's about as exciting as your IDX link. All right. Except it's not even your IDX. It's Zillow. So they're going to be looking, okay, great. Yeah, that's our home on Zillow. Then they're going to click this link, and then they're going to see your marketing plan. Now, when we're going after a luxury, that would be of their actual flip book for their home. But in the beginning, I would recommend just starting out with doing it as Premier, and that way that link is the same for everybody, and that's totally fine. And they start looking at your marketing, your 27-page flip book, when they just got done looking at their home on Zillow. Oh my gosh. Right. And in the flip book, what's cool about these flip books, if you didn't notice, these links are clickable. So they can actually scan and or click the QR code. All right. And at your property website, you can have a lot of really, I on my property website, I add this as a property description, right? Kind of a thing. So if they see it, they can see how amazing I am. I upload more than one photo for my my basic one, my Premier presentation. right? And I do professional photos of all my listings. And then I add some other things in here as well. All my client reviews. They can see all my other listings, right? I got some other things I add in here as well. Very, very cool stuff right there. All right. So that email, so on day one, it should be identify, call, add to my CRM, text message, email. All right. All 5 of those things should happen. And you want to do, if you just do 5 a day, you're going to be in 2 weeks. I can't guarantee anything in life, but I assure you, you're going to notice your pipeline is bubbling up, is really, really, really bubbling up nicely. All right. Now we don't have time to go through anymore, but tonight at 7:00, and I've got other videos on this, but it is door knocking and mailing are the next 2 things. And I'll just show you real quickly. If I click door knocking premiere, there's 4 things that go with the expired relaunch package. The presentation itself printed. All right. Remember I said you can order these from us or you can print them yourself. So it is the presentation itself, a cover letter. All right. And you can click here for an editable cover letter with optional scannable QR code. So you can click here. It will take you to Canva, Premiere expired listing cover letter. So that's a cover letter that goes with the package. Now there's another letter for follow-up. Now the QR code is optional, but if you want to add it, and again, you only do it once. Once I got this cover letter, it's always there. We got what is called the trash sheet. So we're going to print this up. This could be from My Plus Leads. This could be from Zillow. This could be from your MLS. I was talking to a super high producing agent the other day, and he goes, "Oh my God." He goes, "Scott," he goes, "I've been doing this exact same thing myself for 20 years. Right? And I was like, "Oh, awesome. All right. I love it." So he was really excited to see that we're promoting that as well. All right. Home selling process outline. That'll take you right into your account. Then right under your intro, home selling process outline right there. It'll be your colors, your brand, your picture, your logo, completely editable. So those 4 things go into when we go door knocking or we go put it in the mail like a package, right? The expired relaunch package. Now, again, if you're with leading real estate companies of the world, Sotheby's, EXP, KW Luxury, whatever, or again, like I mentioned, you do property videos, drone videos, 3D tours, and whatever. You can create a slick, right? Go to Canva, create a slick, add it to the package, put that with it in the mail, and door knock and or get that in the mail. And the only difference between door knocking and mailing is one thing. And if you just scroll down, so I got the whole thing here. And the only difference is when I mail, I'm going to use a regular kind of an envelope, right? Still want to make sure it's 9x12. Pick a color that goes with your brand. I don't know, right? Whatever is appropriate for your brand. They got black, navy, that kind of garnet red, some really sweet colors in here. Seafoam blue, if you're in Florida, right? It's a lot of great envelopes. And so that's mailing. And if you're door knocking, and oh wow, I had the wrong envelope. Let me see. For door knocking, I have to go through there and fix that. Let me see. Door knocking the expired. I'm sure right there. All right. I'll find the link for that because it's an envelope that is see-through and it's all weather. It's an all-weather envelope that you're going to use because it may be sitting in front of the house for a couple of days before they get a hold of it. So when we door knock the expired relaunch package, it's a all-weather envelope that's actually kind of see-through. And then when we mail it, we're going to use the envelope like I showed you. So let me find that link. Let me make sure I add it to this little bit in a little bit here before too long, because I want to make sure that you guys got the right info. And I thought I had that, because I remember I was dealing with that, and I think I must have saved. Sometimes you do something, but then you save it in another browser, and then you're like, wait, what happened? So I'll go check that a little bit later. All right. Any questions on anything we covered? Sorry to keep you all late. I apologize for that, but let me know if there's any last minute questions before we split off. Get yourself into the mastermind group. Get yourself into the school. Real quickly here, let me just add a few more people. So Tim, Sean. So Tim, you're in. Sean, you're in. Elizabeth. Boom. And Elizabeth. Oh, Elizabeth, I got your comment. Perfect. I'll send you the bio via your email that you dropped in there. That's awesome. Thank you, Elizabeth. All right, everybody. Let me see real quickly. Thank you. Awesome. Perfect. Okay, awesome. Have a beautiful day. If you're up for it, join me at 7 p.m. East Coast time, and I'll have a few of those links fixed up, and we'll go from there. All right, everybody. Have a great one. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.